So today I was at Hallmark and I picked up the 2025 Dream Book. But in this year's Dream Book there was a supplement. It says prices reflected are inaccurate. And then they have a chart showing you what you're going to pay for the ornaments. And we are Wicked fans, so... Oh, there it is. So that Glenda, that's $24.99, you're now going to pay $30.99 for her. All my grandkids love mac and cheese, so this mac and cheese is $16.99, but you will pay $20.99. And of course, they always have Star Wars ones. Like this one is $79.99, but you're going to pay $99.99 according to this chart. And that's how tariffs work. Merry Christmas.
Okay, I'm at Kohl's because I came to do an Amazon return. And can we just talk about the insane prices of decor for a sec? Because look at this. Like, it's cute. It's a cookie jar. It's Snoopy. It's Peanuts. But, like, guys, $69.99. Like, we have lost the plot. That is insane. Like, and this is how big it is. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how cute something is. $70 for a cookie jar is diabolical. And yes, you're gonna get 25% off. It's like $55.99. Still, $55.99 for a freaking cookie jar? This is why we just walk out of the store.
So the the American is going crazy because prices are skyrocketing. They're at like an all-time high. You know, at stores like Kohl's, even Dollar General, things are going up like 50 to 100% with these tariffs that Donald Trump. Now remember, Donald Trump promised to do what he's doing now. He promised to bring, he said to put tariffs on these countries because they was getting over on America for years. And he was saying that the Dems wasn't doing nothing about it. Even a lot of his Republicans wasn't doing nothing about it. So for me, everything that Donald Trump said that he was going to do when he was coming into the presidency, he's actually doing it. People supported it. They was on board. They wanted Donald Trump to be their president, right? So now Donald Trump is your president, right? And so now prices are skyrocketing, and not just because of tariffs, it's also skyrocketing because of business practices. A lot of these corporations and companies are already in the hole. So now when you get around Thanksgiving time and Christmas time, right, you know, they start really gouging the prices up a lot. You'll see where that decoration was $70 and it's 25% off, but they want to mark the price up so high and then slap a 25% off on it. No, everything is just super high because they're claiming they want to bring businesses back to America, right? But let's look at what ABC News is reporting.
According to the National Retail Federation, this year Americans are planning to spend around $890 per person.
Really?
To buy holiday gifts, food, decor, and more. Well, yeah, it does seem like a lot. Yeah. The largest piece of the holiday spending pie, of course, the gifts. More than 600 of those dollars expected to go toward presents.
With the government shutdown, inflation, and tariffs weighing on so many, consumers are desperate for some deals, and you can find them.
Consumers are embracing discount stores as a part of their shopping list this year. They are prioritizing big box retailers and dollar stores while having less interest in outlet stores and e-commerce sites.
All right, I hope people also remember to shop small and shop local. Now, some big box retailers are offering early deals starting tomorrow through Saturday. Target has up to 40% off select holiday decor and lights and 50% off select toys. Wayfair is boasting up to 70% off cookware, Christmas trees, furniture, and more.
Is Donald Trump going to become the Grinch that steals Christmas? He just might, because Nintendo just said it is not taking pre-orders for its Nintendo Switch 2. Was supposed to start happening in April. Because of this whole tariff situation that Donald Trump seems to have implemented on the entire world, okay? So they said they still plan on releasing it in June. However, they might reassess. And if these tariffs are still too high, they may not even release it in June. And imagine the backup. And then you get close to Christmas and there's still no Nintendo Switch 2. So little kids and grown kids who love video games can't get them. That's some Grinch shit right there.
I got an idea. How about you don't do no shopping at all? How about you stay home and save your money as the American people? Don't go out and spend beyond your means and spend a whole bunch of money for a whole bunch of toys and electronics that the kids don't really need. How about you just fall back right now because the economy is in shambles, right? The economy is in shambles. They said what they were going to do, and they're claiming, now I told you guys, Donald Trump only has 4 years. He's not going to be able to create what he wants to create in just 4 years. It's going to take longer. It's going to take 8 to 10 years to be able to bring manufacturing back to America, where they're boosting the economy by employing the American people, putting the dollars back into the American pocket, and that money circulating back into America, not being shipped overseas, and then they shipping goods over here to be consumed. And no, that's going to take a long time for all that process to happen back here. Because what do we ship to other countries? Like, it's just, listen. Donald Trump, he actually spoke on this, and he said some things that infuriated a lot of Americans when he made this statement. And also the corporations are also real, and they're also upset with this when Donald Trump said this.
Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need.
As someone in the business, what's your reaction to that?
Complete outrage that the President of the United States is denigrating our industry and taking away the validity of what we do. We're not a rounding error. We're an important part of the community that we live in. Our company makes educational products. We sell into schools and we sell into homes, and there's a lot of people who depend on what we do. So obviously frustrating that he basically says what happens to us and the 500 people that work in our company is no concern of his. I can tell you that the stock market is going down, in my opinion, because only one thing has changed, and that's these tariffs. The economy was booming when he came in, and he hit us with tariffs. We are responding to the incentives that he's given us. His first tariff at 10% was a big problem for us, and we immediately began canceling events and cutting our spending. It's now gone up into the stratosphere. It's 2.5 times what he said on the campaign trail would be the highest tariff he would put out. There's no way to survive this. We're in the most competitive market in the world. And I'd like to say one other thing. He said, you know, we had to take our medicine. We're not taking medicine here. We're taking poison. This is going to kill these businesses. I'm one of 300,000 businesses in many industries that are similarly situated and similarly affected. We're not a rounding error. You can talk to any of our employees and ask them.
The corporate CEOs are running in panic. Right? You have government shutdowns where they just got things back again moving, right? You know, because you had the stalemate between the Dems and the Republicans, and they arguing in the Senate, right, about how they're going to get this government back up and running. And I'm hearing that, I'm reading that there was really no concessions made for the Dems. They just, at some point, they had to get it back up and running because it started to affect the airlines. Airline workers and federal workers wasn't being paid. You know, listen, this thing was crazy. But I saw that a lot of the billionaire and trillionaire radical right-leaning people was funding a lot of those people. They was helping those people that's on that side. A lot of those Dems wasn't doing that. Charlemagne called that out on the Breakfast Club. You know, when he asked, he said, well, where are these people actually come in to set up a fund to help some of these laid off workers? There's crickets, right? But some of these CEOs are upset because they feel like Trump is running this country into the ground, right? And I'm telling black folks, stay home, save your money. Start talking like this.
Black Friday and Christmas shopping is canceled this year. It is canceled. Thanks to y'all president, Mr. Donald Trump. Thanks to y'all president. So he got rid of the de minimis exemption, effective, I believe, today. What that exemption was it allowed foreign shipments to come into the United States without, having to pay any tariffs, custom fees if it was under $800. Now everything is subject to tariffs. He says that he did this because this exemption has allowed fentanyl to get into the United States, and it has negatively impacted, American businesses because there's so much competition with, other countries. What he fails to realize is with a lot of American businesses, it's not even made in the USA, it's assembled in the USA, but they get all their materials from other countries. And a lot of countries have already came out. I think it was at least 30 countries have said that they will no longer be shipping to the United States. They will no longer be shipping to the United States. This is going to affect businesses who might, import from those countries, in order to, make whatever products that they have. It's going to make everything expensive for us. We might lose access to certain things. And I'm not understanding the thought process. And I feel like this is something that is going to have an immediate effect on the United States economy. I'm wondering how this is going to affect Black Friday shopping, Christmas shopping, if that's even if he's going to renege on this. This is actually crazy.
This is funny because, as Americans, we just feel like we got to have all these goods. First of all, these countries are not going to stop importing to the United States. The United States is a corporation that's where people live here, right, on this land, where goods are dropped off to be consumed, right, from all over the world. They dump their goods here to be consumed because we're the top consumers, because we feel like we got to have all these material items that we can't afford to make ourselves feel better. A lot of people, Americans, have very low self-esteem, and they feel like they got to have all these just material items that's worthless, means nothing. It depreciates. It has no meaning to it, and these other countries know it. Send it to the Americans; they'll buy it. Right? We don't want that. We don't want that debaucherous stuff here in our country. Ship it to the Americans. They're animals anyway. That's how ship it to the entitled ones, right? The lazy entitled ones. That's how they think of us, right? They just ship it all to America and to the West, right? And let us just consume everything to the point where we really believe and think that we need to have it. So no, they're not going to stop shipping things here because their economy is based off of them shipping goods to us for us to consume it. That's why Donald Trump is trying to do what he's doing, but he's not going to be able to do that. And he's filling his pockets up, him and his team getting very, 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 very rich, right? Until he gets out. He knows that he's not going to be able to accomplish the goal that he set out and told the American people. The corporate CEOs know this as well, right? But again, the American people, they're making videos telling people how they should spend their money during these holiday seasons to be frugal and save money, but they're saying this.
Fortunately, I am noticing price increases now at Dollar General too. I'm in the Christmas section, and some stuff that used to be $1 is now like $2. Some stuff is now $10. Okay, here's an example. These glass jars, these were definitely $1 last year. This year, they're $2. Found these adorable little wooden cake stands. This maybe would have been $5, $6 in past years. This year, it is $10. These little ornaments here have always been $1, but see now, it's $2. Wait, here's a good one, you guys. This you can easily see it was $1. They covered it up with a $2 price tag. Glitter bows, these were $1. They covered it up with a $2 price tag. These little tin boxes, these definitely used to be $1, and now they have them as $2. Little rinky-dink ornament, $2. Look at this, you guys. They covered it up. It is $2.
So she's telling you to shop at Dollar Tree and Dollar General. But this is the thing. The prices are cheaper, but the quality of the items that you usually buy are not going to be that good, right? So I'm telling people, listen, if you have to go out and spend on what you have to spend on. But for the most part, keep your dollars, man. Save your money. The holiday season, man, get you some food. Sit around with the family, share, have a good time, share laughs and jokes, and do all those kind of things that you usually do, right? Do all those things that you usually do. Now there was a woman, she was in China, and inside of a factory. She was reporting this.
I'm at a factory in eastern China which makes fake Christmas trees, and it's crunch time for them to get all their orders in time for Christmas. Here in Yiwu, they make around 2/3 of the world's Christmas decorations. And the factory boss here, she tells me that before the trade war, American business accounted for something like 40%. Now it's down to 0 with the trade at a truce. Tariffs still do remain high. She also says that, like others in her business, she won't be taking in any extra costs, that will then go into the importer, which then may be pushed onto the American consumer. So you might end up paying a little bit more for your Christmas trees and Christmas decorations this year.
So while the corporate gangsters and these government gangsters in suits, argue and fight and bang over maritime law and and how they're going to ship goods to certain things and tariffs and taxes and all these different things. While they have while they argue over you're going to move your goods through here, you got to pay certain things. You want to fly this way. While they do all that, I'm telling the American people, I don't care what color you are, the American people, sit this one out. Thanksgiving is coming up. Man, listen, get y'all all as a group, it's time to start loving and caring about each other again. Stop being so selfish. Get with your family, man, and sit down and act like you got some sense, man. Love, forgive your cousin. Forgive your uncle. Man, forgive your auntie or your daddy or whatever, man. Come sit down, have a good Thanksgiving dinner, man. Mind your business. Stop talking, stop talking about all the negativity stuff, right? Christmas is coming up. I don't celebrate Christmas, right? But it's still my favorite time of year. I like to watch those Christmas movies, like the black movies that they make that come on, Netflix and stuff like that. I like sitting down with my wife and watching those movies, right? I sit around, I sit down, I watch the movies. I'm more, people are nicer around that time, more festive. So just sit around, man, and just save your money, man, and be more, just be with family. How about that? Stop worrying about consuming goods and things that you can't afford after the holiday season is over. You done ate a bunch of unhealthy food. You done spent a bunch of money that you don't have. You're further in debt. So you sit around, man, listen, with family, get you some food, some healthy food, cook some healthy food, work out, do all the things that you need to do, but be nice to people. How about we practice doing that? Just being nice. Right? And like I said, my favorite time of season is the Christmas time, right? And like I said, I like to sit around, watch my movies, sit with my grandchildren, my wife, watch the movies and chill. We don't celebrate Christmas in this house. There's no Christmas stuff and all that. That's not something that we celebrate. But I just like the time of the season. I grew up in this culture, in this era, and that's the season that I actually like, right? But all I'm saying is stay home with family, be nice, and just be more caring. Call your neighbor and make sure your neighbor is good during this time. Make sure maybe that your family members got the food that they need. How about we start giving and doing things for each other during this time instead of going out and consuming a bunch of goods, trying to floss for other poor people? How about we do that? How about we let these corporate greedy gangsters and government people, let them hash it out on their own, and let's sit this one out as Americans. How about that? But y'all let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.